there! It's Mara here again. And today I'm sure you've noticed I'm not wearing a wig because I am actually going to be talking about that problem. Wigs. See, a lot of us trans women have to deal with, especially if we're a bit older like I was when I started, have to deal with having had high testosterone, which caused a lot of hair to fall out. As a matter of fact, when I first started, I had almost nothing on top. I was pretty darn bald. And while it has been somewhat coming back, I'm also using minoxidil and a crown thing that does a laser. Here, I could actually show you. Whoop. You put this thing on, you press it, you hold it in different spots. It does a laser. It's probably really bright. And you just shift positions every 30 seconds. Takes a couple of minutes. But it's not perfect. I'm probably never going to get all of the hair back that was in these spots here. And I've just come to be expecting that. I'm going to keep, trying to grow my hair out. I have actually not cut my hair since 1994. It's been 31 years. And it just all fell out. When I was a lot younger, I actually had quite a bit of hair. I was actually quite happy with having a lot of hair. And then it started all coming out on the top, and then it started thinning out, and I just was never happy with it again because I wanted hair. So what's the solution? Well, a lot of people actually just deal with whatever hair they have. I've seen some trans women who go completely bald and will just shave everything off. But I really like the idea of having hair, so I decided to start using wigs. And I'm sure anybody who's seen much of any of my videos has noticed my hair changes. It's a wig. It changes regularly because I have a lot of them. Between my girlfriend and I, she's also trans and has the same problem, I think we have over 30 wigs. And what I'm going to demonstrate right now is how easy they are to use. And so this is going to take a moment, but won't take all that long. So what I do is I use these wig bands. Oops. Technical difficulties. Before I was so rudely interrupted, let's get back to it. So I'm going to be cutting this down a lot after I show the initial setup, because I'm going to keep bumping this thing, and it's really, really sensitive. So anyways, as I was saying, let's try to do this more gently. I get these headbands. Actually can buy them on Amazon or Etsy or all sorts of places. They're called wig bands, and they're not that expensive, and I like to use them because they help soak up any sweat that you have while you're wearing your wigs to help them last longer. And all it takes is just putting it on, put it back here, slide it into position. All I have is my little preview of my camera to go off of, so it's not going to be perfect. And then we take one of my wigs like this, and it takes almost no time at all when it's a standard band, and that's generally what I like to use. Whoop. And aside from having to go to a mirror and make sure everything's lined up properly, that's it. It's pretty simple. And it transforms the way you look really quickly. Now, I have heard some people say that they worry about how much these cost. And I've got a bunch of examples here of varying costs and whatnot to show you the differences. But this one was about $20, $30. And I had to work with it a little bit. It was a little poorly put together, but it actually looks really nice on me, and I'm quite happy I've got it. But for people who are a bit more on a budget, there are actually options available that are less than $10. And I was a bit iffy on these, but it's $10, so I might as well try it. Here's an example. And all I'm doing is there's a band back here. I'm pulling it down under that headband. And okay. It's not perfect or anything, but not bad for about $10. And these actually look pretty good even up close. Now, granted, if somebody comes up and actually touches it's synthetic hair. It does feel a little plasticky, but most people are not going to come up and touch your hair unless they're really strange people. Might want to avoid those kind of people. So, if you want to have funner ones, there are even ones that are around that price range, like this one. This is one that my girlfriend picked up for somewhere between $15 and $20. Come on. And I think she said she got it off of Wish, which, surprising that it looks so good. And yes, I'm probably not properly aligning it, but you get the idea. And this is actually one of her favorites. It doesn't look quite as good on me as it does on her, but, you know, it's fun to be able to play with these. You know, you could, like, go with a completely different look based off of what you're in the mood for. And that's why I find them so exciting, and why it makes me sad sometimes when there seems to be a lot of a stigmata against ever using a wig, because it's not hard to use them, and they're not too expensive. You can obviously go for really expensive ones. There are real hair ones that are available. I have a couple of them, and they look and feel much better. I'm not going to demonstrate one right now because it's currently in an 80s aesthetic, and I like using it to show off an 80s aesthetic. But I wanted to show this one because you could actually get some really fun colors and just change things up. Like when you want to just go out and look really different. You know what? I might not even need to cut this up. These really don't take very long to put on. And, you know, you could add accessories like hair clips or put barrettes on. If you end up needing to, like say, it doesn't match your natural hair very well, so like if you look, you could see my natural hair kind of, clashes with it. These little hair clips, you just get a whole bunch of them really cheap, and you could just clip up your hair in there, or you can use little pins just to make it so that your hair is held up better. And it's easy to do, and I have a lot of fun doing it. Now, there is one thing I did want to bring up, is there's another type of wig that's actually pretty common called a lace front. And I don't get along with them great. They require a lot more work, and I'm going to show you one that has not been very trimmed. The advantage of them is that if you do them correctly, it'll look like your natural hairline right up through here. And I've only been able to get it to work a couple of times with a lot of effort. If you don't, so you have to do extra glue. You probably don't want to use the band like I'm using. And it's got this mesh right here. And what you do is you glue that down onto the top of your forehead. And then you use makeup to blend it in with the rest of your skin. And it's some people say they get it down. It's not even that hard for them. And for me, it's always been a tremendous amount of effort to get this to stick down. You have to put glue on, wait for it to dry a bit, put more glue on, maybe wait for it to dry even more, put another layer of glue on, and hold it all down, and then hope it doesn't curl up. And if you cut it too short, it might curl up. And yes, I know you can see my band through here. I've had that problem with a couple, and if you don't get the right color to blend it in, it might show up, but you get it down good. I've seen some people who've been able to do amazing things with them. I am not quite that patient most of the time, but if I find something I really, really like I want to try it with this one sometime, definitely might do it. And that's it. I thought it was really useful and informative, especially since I've recently talked to a couple other trans women who also have my hair problem, and it's like, and it's one of those things, your brain just keeps telling you, I don't look like a woman. I'm never going to be a woman. It's like, no, you can do this. You can do this. There's things you can do. It's a bit more work than it is for a cis woman, but you can do it. And that's what I wanted to talk about. So have a good day, everybody. Bye.